What do you guys make of the take going around about Chris O being a waste of a pick with how few snaps he's getting?
I don't think it's a waste of a pick. I think it's just one of those things where you need to evaluate these first three guys. We knew going in that Chris wasn't going to be in the conversation legitimately to be the starter this season. Just based on where he was drafted at, based on the money that was allocated to the guys, for him to have really put himself in that conversation, he would need to have come out of the gate in rookie minicamp, OTAs, and have shown something then to give him an opportunity to get those reps. Now, just because you're drafted, man, it doesn't always mean that you're going to get reps. It doesn't mean that you deserve reps, because this other guys has been in this league way longer. They've had to fight, scratch, and claw. And they're like, bro, they don't hand us our reps, so you have to earn that. So for Chris, granted, he hasn't had a ton of reps, but he's still getting opportunities. He just has to continue to make the most of those opportunities. And for him also, he has to remember this as the fourth QB on this roster. Now, typically, this is the fourth preseason game where that will become a thing for him. But he knows of these three preseason games, he's going to get an opportunity in at least one of them, depending on how we see the team operate in terms of who they want out there, who they don't want out there, how long and things like that. Cool. But Chris is going to get an opportunity at some point in time. And if he does not get an opportunity and he still isn't getting reps in practice, that just means that they're going to stash him on the practice squad. That's the other thing. And the reason why you do it like that is, hey, no team is going to want to pick up a guy from the practice squad that they have not seen play at the NFL level. Steelers have been seeing this dude in practice since rookie minicamp, OTAs, veteran minicamp, now training camp. So they're seeing all they need to see from him. They probably already had conversations with him, or maybe they haven't. Who knows, right? But they're seeing things that all these other teams can't. So if he is not playing in the game, but remember, they drafted him, and we know he is different than all the other three quarterbacks on this roster. That's kind of how you view it. Think of it more that way. Development, stash him on the practice squad, let him just figure this thing out in terms of development, because we don't call him like a poor man's Malik Willis, but we knew when you picked him up, like, yo, all right, he has some things that make him intriguing, but he also has a lot that he has to fine tune and work on to be a starting NFL quarterback. So going in, that had to be a part of that conversation as well in the thought process.
Yeah, I'm with you. There was no expectations of him being a starter at all this year. I don't know if I'd be more surprised if he's actually getting snaps. If that meant taking away from Pickett, Rudolph, and Mr. Trubisky,
then that would mean he would need to have been doing something to warrant that. To me, what Chris have done since like OTAs and minicamp to say, hey, you deserve a snap over Mason Rudolph. You deserve a snap over Mr. Trubisky. You deserve a snap over Kenny Pickett, because that's the reality of it, like you just said. When you give that guy a rep, you're taking a rep away from someone else. So,
and I think we viewed him more of just have him on the roster, stash him on the roster, like you said, have him on practice squad, and see what happens over the next 2 or 3 years. Maybe he could be a long-term backup for us for Pickett whenever Pickett eventually ascends.
You know, he's going to have 2 great weeks because when we play Baltimore. You're the scout team quarterback. You're Lamar Jackson. All right. You know that.
Well, also, too, I mean, Mason's only on a 1-year deal, and Mitch is
that's a pseudo on
it's a 1/2 year deal, because the Steelers could cut him after this year,
based
and it wouldn't
on
be
how
that big of a cap hit.
Yeah,
Exactly. So essentially, Pickett's the only one guaranteed on the roster for next year. So
that's it.
That automatically gives Oladokun a spot right there. And backup quarterback, that's not bad money. That's not a bad gig.
Well, we say backup quarterback's the best gig in the league, man.
Seriously, Chase Daniel made a hell of a career.
Just sit behind that dude, hold that clipboard. If you got to go out there for a series, don't turn it over. That's all you got to do, man.
Yeah, I don't think it was a waste of pick, especially being in the 7th round. If you're talking a 4th round pick, that's a different question.
But once again, in the 7th round, and this is what we all remember when we were doing the mock drafts, we would say in the 7th round, you could pick who you want to pick, because 90% of these dudes, I'm sure that's not the real statistic, but a lot of those guys don't make the roster. So it's, okay, do you want to go storyline? Do you want to go athlete? Do you want to go the veteran? Do you want to go the big question mark, the character guy, like whatever? That's what you're thinking in that 7th round. So anything that, I mean, honestly, 5th through 7th, that's the reality of it. I hate to throw myself in there, because I like to say that the Bills, they just knew that I was going to be this diamond in the rough. And it was like, we got to get this guy. You know what I mean? But in all seriousness, 5th round through the 7th round, these organizations don't expect anything from them. Anything they get is icing on the cake. That's great. But yeah, for Chris, man, he just has to take his time with this thing, man. Whenever he gets an opportunity, just be yourself, man. Be the best you can be. Said today's show is brought to you by Manscaped. You know the leaders in below the waistline grooming, right? You know them. You know that crew.
Yeah.
Well, Deke, I was thinking to myself, we are in the heart of the summer. We know that football season is here, and ball security, more importantly, is at a premium right now. All right. During this time of year, man, you got to protect your balls. And the best way to do that is with Manscaped. More importantly, the Lawnmower 4.0, the waterproof one with that little light that turns on and off. You know the one we talk about, Deke. I mean, it's things like that, baby. When you talk about going low and slow to make that tree trunk show a little bit more, baby, this is what you need. All right. So don't waste time. You want to check them out. They're here for you. But more importantly, Deke, as we always say, we don't talk about anybody unless we got a promo code.
Yeah.
And that promo code, ladies and gentlemen, is MOATS. You use that, you will get 20% off of your purchase along with free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com. So stop wasting time, man. Make sure you take care of your delicate twins. And I can assure you that anybody that is, privileged enough to interact with them, they'll appreciate you as well.